Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Colin Dawson with the Political Minute, bringing in a little bit different look here tonight. In a way, it's a little bit more serious. I have to say that with everything, I've listened to the Jerry Epstein talk. This is the truth about Jerry Epstein as much as I can put forth on anything that I've learned or anything else. They go on about these virgin girls and everything. And I just have to look at it and go, this brings me back to some of the things on the edge of the Mexican border when I was growing up. I wasn't there, I'll be honest. We have a major highway trafficking center, and it's a very important line, I-75 out here. We got state highways going up and down it, and we've got I-40 coming through. So let me tell you, there's some things out there that I gotta say do come through here, even as far away as Mexico and Texas. It's a little strange to find out about, irregardless of your age. There's turf wars. There's everything else. And you got to realize people are here and they just do. The girls that were brought across and everything, they're mostly young, everything else. And it happens to turn out that they're probably more than likely virgins. They show up and then they disappear and everything else. And with the Jerry Epstein, a lot of the things that were done over in World War II, since there were so many people here and there's kind of an underground World War II economy, it's something of extreme situations where it's like you're the ultimate man or the ultimate woman. It's generally men that it's like you're able to seduce and bet a virgin. And the younger the girl is, the more they keep you alive and sexually virulent and everything. You're able to actually be a Superman. And these girls, they'll come out there and be with you. And once a girl's been with a guy, she's pretty much locked into him. It's very hard for a woman to ever switch over to another man. And that's really the truth. She constantly has a thing there that she'll smell him even though she says she don't. And that's her man she's going to stay with. And one of the things that they pushed around here all the way back in the 80s, especially in the 80s, when you would see some of these girls come through, they were beautiful. And the people that you knew, they were these Nazi World War II, not the skinheads, not what everyone, the blood people, the people that they call blood from out over there. They go around there and talk about how you brought us here to make you better. This is what makes you better. This is what you need. And every one of them will go out. And let me just say, they will put these girls in a room and, it's kind of like you just need to take them. You just need to be with them. Have I ever been in there? No. Have I listened to it second and third hand and been by the area and listened to them all talk it up and everything else? Never really seen anything together. And you can sit there and look at Epstein and it's like, why has he got all these virgin girls for these old guys? It's a culture thing. They all have to have a virgin. I've never expected to ever be with a virgin. But these men use these young girls, and in a way they prey upon them. And in a way they look for the women that are just naturally there with it, with no hesitation, with no anything else, that they can just be natural for that and give themselves over to it and be loyal. They look for that animal quality in it. And there is that truth about Epstein. It's almost like a market for a dating thing for a second or third wife that's going to be kept off the radar. And also something of a tribalistic situation goes back to, are you naturally there? See, the Germans, they call them a German if you use prostitutes. If you go out there and you kind of lie and you schmooze them with drugs and a party and everything else, and you're like, well, isn't that kind of like how dating is? Second this with kind of like the Japanese or something else. But if you can go out there and it's kind of like it's just pure animal instincts, no real talking, no real anything, and it's just normal interaction in the area, and you're going to get them before they've gone through 1, 2, 3 periods for a woman, and they give themselves to you. You take them. They're naturally just wild women, and sometimes they're actually stronger than the man in a way for some sort of primal instincts, and it's like you've risen to like a woman. And I mean, this is stuff that you even know about out in middle school. I mean, they talk about it all the time. The guys that's getting laid in middle school. I mean, down here, everybody's like, well, they have 15-year-olds up there. It's like, wow, they waited 4 or 5 years. No, down here it's like 10 or 12. Everything just moves faster in the South. It's like lightning fast, faster than the speed of light. Then everybody just realizes there's no fighting over it, and you pick your level. Up north, there's always the fighting, and they go, it moves so quick, and it's like, well, yeah, you killed off all the situation out there, so you had to make a new situation. The older you get, the more you got to even move it faster. Well, let me just tell you, this is just how it is. And I hope everything's a little bit more understanding here over the Epstein. People talk like he's really that much or anything else, and I go, Epstein's just the bare end of it. And they first time got in there with the, the political elite. And even with all the pictures that they show with him hugging people or something else, they are too timid for any of it. Now, let me just say here, I know I'm not like I've been there, been the bouncer, whatever you want to call it, or been involved in any of it, but from just everybody's own internal primal situation with how even girls will chase virgin men to levels of insanity, especially if they're over like 22 or something else and aren't really with church. There's just something that I gotta say is you need to realize, even if it's a thing you won't do, there is a primal situation in society that does push that. And honestly, where it came from is just them going, maybe, we can kick the Germans. We can say the Japanese were almost a separate people or something else. And find forgiveness. But at the same time, while we might have destroyed Rome in a way, but never even really scathed its cities, did we submit to it under temptation? Or what? And y'all can say the Pope, everything else. Even after World War II, there were so many things with sex scandals until basically the last 10 years. And with that, most people say the sex scandals are all homosexual. Or overseas, they're all nice 25 to 30-year-old women or younger, like Epstein. Maybe there's something that we haven't really defeated from World War II. Anyway, this is Colin Dawson with a Political Minute. Stay strong, stay however it is. Like and subscribe.